The fourth installment of the assessment tool function. So in this video I want to quickly run through what it will look like when you want to grade some of these. Now, some of the functions would automatically grade, like your multiple choice and the matching and the ordering things will automatically grade. So only things like the video, audio and text submissions are things that you might want to review before submitting a final grade. Now you remember that from the start when we set it up that we could only use a scale, so we might want to look at if we are going to use this function more to build more scales so that you're able to assign grades to more than one, but it is going to be a bit limiting how we actually assign grades in this. Anyway, so I can see this student has done 2 submissions. This took him 6 minutes, this took him 7 minutes. You can see when they completed and it will tell you that you still need to grade it. So let's open his first submission. And if it loads, there we go. All right, so you can now quickly see how the student has completed, what answer they gave, things they got wrong. You can add feedback to each individual question. It sometimes does take a bit of time to load. You can add text, you can add an image, you can add audio feedback, you can add video feedback. There's only 10,000 word limit. If anybody's giving 10,000 word feedback on a matching, then wow, that's great. All right, the image label, you can see which ones they got incorrect. They got the ordering right. All right, they missed the kilometers. You can read what they've written, and he didn't attempt the math score. So that is what it looks like here. So you can assign points. Like, I don't think this is kind of weird, right? To assign points. We don't really do that. That kind of already gave a point. So we didn't use numeric scale. So the point system is really not going to defeat our purpose, but it doesn't mean we can't use the tool. All right, so if this student is activated, I can choose, okay, let's see how we did in submission 2. It'll bring up submission 2. And kind of the same thing. You can see that they've improved on submission 2. Oh, there's a mistake there. And now they've attempted this. I can, as a teacher, I can also move between students, back and forth between students. We don't have to go all the way to the start every time. There's only one student in this class, so there's unfortunately not more for me to go back to. If I go back, if I've reviewed and I've decided it's time to give this student a score, I can put the score in there. This is what would eventually show up in the grade book, only this number. So the points that go in the actual test, I don't think. So if you want to clear it, then you clear it. If you want to re-enter it, then re-enter it. And when you get to reporting, there is no data available yet. Which section is this kid in? All right, so we'll have to check what this looks like. It's difficult sometimes with just one student. Another part in the grading, so this was grading by student. You could also decide to look at it from a question point of view. So now this will show you the 3 questions you still need to write. If you had more than one student, you might be able to see how many of your students actually got this question correct, and you can kind of see what area you might need to come back to and reteach a little if you're finding a trend that students are struggling with one of the specific questions in your assessment. The action button up here. If you want to save your course to your resources, this test, if you spend a lot of time building it, you want to save it to use it, make sure you save it to your resources. If you've built it somewhere and you want to copy it to another class, you can copy it. You can edit it, you can unpublish it, you can even print it off if you want a paper copy of it. And that is the basics of using the assessment tool. Maybe you'll find some use for it. But yeah, come and talk to me. We can figure things out with the grading and the scale and see what we can do. Thank you.